everybody, it's Sharon here. Welcome back to my channel for those who are returning, and welcome to any new subscribers that may be visiting for the first time. So I'm excited to be back. I have found a little bit of time. I wouldn't say it's spare time. I should be doing other things, but I wanted to duck into my craft room. I did mention that I had a busy week, so I've managed to sneak away. So I just wanted to come and play. I did want to show you that I have my altered manila folder that I did as a project for JunkWithSteph. It was for the Defy video that I did, and I have transferred all of my kits that I'm using, all of my papers that I'm using for my mass making into this folder. So I did have all of these papers stacked on top of each other on my desk, so I now have a little house for them, and they are going to live in this folder, and it means that I can close the folder up at night and pop it on my desk and just have it sit there, and it's so pretty to look at. Isn't that gorgeous? I love it. So today I'm working with some of my large book pages. I'm thinking I'd like to do just some collaging, just make a book page snippet roll, but I also remembered when I was getting those book pages out, I have these larger images that I keep saving because I love the images on them. So I'm thinking I want to use those, and I'm just going to make some large journal cards out of them. I think I'm just going to glue those on. Where did I put my glue stick? I've cleaned my desk, so I've moved my things. I need to move my glues back. There we go. Now I'm thinking I should be using these as my glue pages before I put anything else on them. Okay, so I'm going to glue this one. So how are you all? I hope you're all fabulous. I want to make sure that I've got the gluey side up, so the part that I've glued on when it was in my glue book. Yes, I hope you're all fabulous. I am. I did mention I have had or am having a very busy week, but I was so keen to come and do some crafting with you all, so I was just like, I see a window of time, and I am totally going to use that window and go into my craft room and play. So I had meant to tell you I was given a rather unexpected crafting supply. Sorry, I was trying to find the right words. An unexpected crafting supply just recently, and I've washed it, so that's all I'm telling you, and I hope to share that with you very soon. Okay, so I'm going to try and line this up as best I can so that our fairy, I think I want to turn it over so I can see through. I need to straighten it slightly. Can I turn it? Come on, little piece of paper, play the game. I don't think that's too bad. Now my fingers are all tacky. So yes, I can't share any more with you at this stage, but I will be sharing in one of my future videos, so keep your eye out for that. I've got a little goober in there that I need to get out. Oh no, don't tear. I know I started to burnish you down, didn't I? Okay, how can I get that piece out? I'm wondering if I can there we go. And it's gone. Once I put backing paper on that, nobody will be any the wiser except you and me. Oh, I showed you. Well, I was kind of showing you anyway, wasn't I, when I was checking placement. Okay, love that. I may not do anything with these today, I'm thinking. I need to think about that one a bit more. This one, oh my goodness. Placement for this will be a little bit easier because I can line it up at the bottom, and by the look of that, just come in a fraction. Okay. Every time I looked at these papers, I was setting them aside thinking I didn't want to tear or cut into the beautiful image or images that are on them. So I was like, I just need to make some large journal cards out of them and showcase those images as they are in all their glory. My glue stick has just about run out. Didn't check that before I started videoing, did I? Okay. I may need to order some more glue sticks, I'm thinking. I like to make sure I have a good supply at the ready. I do still have a couple, but I'm just thinking I don't like to leave it to the last minute, and I definitely don't like to be thinking, oh my gosh, I've run out and I don't have any more. So note to self, so this side here, I'm going to come in about 1/4 of an inch, roughly 1/8 to 1/4. Fabulous. Love that. I was just thinking these may not be journaling cards. We might even turn them into pockets or tuck spots or something like that. So right over in that top corner, I want to go with this one. Now, did I do any fussy cutting last night? No, not really. But I did do, so my two main goals, my fussy cutting for at least a half an hour. I'm afraid that didn't happen last night. I think I fussy cut one thing and then was distracted into doing something else. So that didn't happen. But I did do my half an hour of organization. So that was when I put my folder together. I sorted out the kits that I had in there for my last project. And I moved those because I finished that project. And I popped the papers in for this project. So that was really good because that tidied off my desk, which always makes me happy. Never seems to last long, but okay. Hoping I get this in the right corner. I didn't even check, did I? That's because I was aiming for the corner. So I figured if it's in the corner. Oh, fun. I am sharing with you today, aren't I? I'm not keeping it to myself. Now, this one's a little bit uneven and I may have to straighten that up. So maybe we'll just keep gluing on that one. For now, I think these images are a little bit big. Okay. The placement for this one is a little bit tricky, so I'm hoping I can get it where I want it fairly easily. So cleaning up my papers last night and transferring them into my altered folder, I was looking at the scraps and I was thinking, I think we could potentially do a little collage paper snippet roll with those. And then start afresh maybe. Well, let's be honest, I'm probably not going to use them all. I always have these high hopes when I do a video like that, or even using these glue book pages, thinking I'm going to smash it out of the park and use a heap. And, you know, what am I averaging? About 6 glue book pages per video at this stage. And I'm also creating them as I go, so now let me see. Am I roughly where I need to be? I don't think that's too bad, actually. Go me. Okay, so what I haven't mentioned for this video is that I'm working on my major design team project for JunkWithSteph for the months of November and December. And I am creating ephemera for my ephemera stash. And oh my gosh, I have my basket on my desk still, and it's about, dare I say it? Well, it looks about half full, but it's not like packed in, so it's probably only about a quarter full, but I'm loving it and I love the way it looks. That one's got a bit of glue on the edge, so I'm going to put that to the back for now. It's so pretty to look at on my desk. And I do have some of the kits that I'm using at the back of that, so just in my little fussy cutting bags, my little Ziploc bags that I use for my fussy cutting, which I did share in a previous video how I organize my fussy cutting. So it's sitting on my desk and it's looking divine. I'm excited to think that maybe, just maybe, it will eventually be too big for the basket, my ephemera stash, and we can transfer it to something else. And I don't know, I've got a couple of crates and tubs and things that I'm wondering if I might be able to utilize, because I think they'll look really beautiful in there, but we'll have to wait and see. So the other thing I've been telling people as I've been doing these videos is to feel free to count how many times I say ephemera stash within one video, little game that I've been playing, because I'm not playing a game by saying it. I just found that when I was editing previous videos, I found myself saying it a lot, and I love games, so feel free to play along and tell me how often I say it. Every time I say it, please know I have this big smile on my face because I've not had an ephemera stash before and I am so excited to be building one. Okay. Now, don't remember exactly how far across I had to come, but I'm going to say about there. not too bad. Aside from the first one, I feel like I'm not doing too bad at this. And we have this one. How many have we done? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this will be 6. It's like the perfect number. Oh, she's only just going to fit, I feel, but I think we can make that work. Okay, I just want to make sure I've got a page that's reasonably straight because we are going so close to the edge and I won't have the room to trim. Oops. Look at me remembering to put the lid on the right hand side. I think it was the last video, or might have been the video before, I was saying every now and then when I'm crafting, I go to put the lid on my glue and my lid is on my left-hand side and I couldn't figure out how it was coming to be there. Like I just wasn't paying attention to what I was doing or how I was doing it until that video, and I found myself taking the lid off with my left hand, hence it would end up on my left. And I was like, but I need to put it back on with my right hand, so that's on the wrong side. I mean, either or, one way or the other, whether it's taking the lid off or putting it back on, it's going to end up on the opposite side. But it was messing with me. Not every time, just every now and then. We've had a funny old day here today. There's storms in the area and I had checked the weather to see if we were expecting anything and it said we weren't, and then all of a sudden about an hour later, and I'd checked like the forecast for, I need to come across a little bit more. See, I told myself I was doing well and then look what happens. Yes, it just hit so suddenly. And it was a little bit angry. Very heavy, very loud. I don't mind that. I'm just really making sure I have all of that focal image in the right area. Okay, so that's all of them, and I'm going to see if I can tear the excess off. More fun scraps. My fingers are so tacky right now. I was just thinking I probably shouldn't be focusing on these. I probably should be doing my snippet roll because I don't know that I'll have time to do it all, but in this video I won't put the backing paper on these. On video, I'll do that off camera. And I'm thinking I'm just going to finish them off by sewing around them. I'm not going to add anything else at this stage. That's my thought. I just really wanted to showcase that paper that I really loved. so much easier with a big piece. What have I done to myself? It's stuck. Okay. Yes, I popped that little piece into my recycle bag. I need to get my head around doing things like this off camera. I always feel guilty if I go to craft without you. So I don't know how interesting watching me do this will be, but just know I'm sharing out of guilt. I feel bad if I don't share with you all. It's actually been really hard to make a whole journal without videoing. Okay. Well, that's going to be a fun little strip. It's got stitching on the other side. I don't know that I tore it away very cleanly, but I tried. I think I'll be cutting the bottom piece though. No, I haven't cleaned my scissors yet. Don't judge. Okay, lucky last. I almost did a clean sweep. I'll have to snip that little piece. That's right, I need to snip that little piece. Where'd you go? Okay, so I will show you those. I will back those off camera and sew around them. There's our first one. They're a bit curly because they've just been glued and there's nothing on the back. The second one, isn't that fun? So I may put a piece of lace or a little fabric collage, I'm thinking. Perhaps I'll see what I think they need. Oh, that's gorgeous. I'll see what I think they need as I sew around them, but She looks like she's floating. I love that. Oops, my butterfly is upside down. So beautiful. And the last one. So I think they will be really fun pockets or tucks on a page. They could be journaling cards. Actually, if I make them a pocket or a tuck, I don't really need to back them either, do I? I'll have a think about that and I will let you know. Okay. My pages are stuck together. My glue book pages are glued. I'll have to deal with that later. Okay. A little bit of glue on the edge of the page from the where it's been bound into the book. I'm just removing that. Now, I do have little strips here that we've just created. And then, so I have the medium decorative. This little bag I think has just small decorative and backing, and these are my backing papers. So that might be a fun strip to put down to join, I think. I do want to tear it first though. Just like that. Oops, and I think I can do that here. I'm all thumbs. Oh, I'm just thinking about the jobs I need to do. I really shouldn't be in here crafting, but you know, sometimes we just have to give ourselves a moment, don't we? I'm sure I deserve at least a moment. I need to turn it this way. It's just not working for me the other way. Haven't quite torn it to the right height. Just adding more glue to my already tacky scissors. Come away. It was stuck. It was stuck and it didn't want to go anywhere. I love that already. Doesn't take much to keep me happy. I'm just wondering if I want some smaller pieces. Couldn't find my ruler. I keep thinking to myself, I don't know if I'm going to be able to post this video. I keep making such a mess of what I'm doing. Okay. Now I'm probably not going to use the backing papers on the front at this stage of these collage paper snippet rolls, and I'm thinking I may even do a little bit and pop it aside and then do a bit more as I create scraps rather than doing new ones. And I might do videos in between where I use some of the little piece of white on there. Yes, I might use a little bit and then add to it. I'll see how I go. But these little bags of scraps were just a bit bulky in my folder, and I was like, well, it would be fun to use some. That can go there. Still remember the days where I would watch other crafters and think to myself, I wish I had scraps. I don't have paper scraps. I only wish I had some paper scraps. So if you're a newbie and you're watching, I can relate. I have been there. I was that person. Okay. Feels very still here at the moment. It's like the calm after the storm. There's a real stillness in the air. Almost a little eerie in a way. Okay. Well, yes. Just making sure that's not going to be too bulky. I think it will be okay. I'm just going to pop that right across the top, and that will hold the two pages together. It's always fun to see how these snippet rolls turn out once they're cut. You just never know how they're going to evolve into what you end up with. One of the things I love about them. Actually, oops, just like I'm making it hard for myself. If I turn that around, I can butt the two ends up together. A little piece that's torn away there. Okay. Love that there. Sticking. Just wondering what I have in the small. Sorry if I'm off camera with my glue book. I'm just realizing where I am. Oh no, I'm good. I need to close my folder though and shift it along because I have no room. That's a bit better. Okay, so what else do I have? Not quite big enough. I think this is going to be one of those quiet videos where I'm just enjoying the process and I'm not talking very much. Trying to think if I have any stories to share. Actually, I know. One of my previous videos, I mentioned I had a little bit of a sewing moment. I had to rethread my bobbin, and I told you I would share that with you another day. Well, today's the day. So I was sewing. Some ephemera that we'd made for our ephemera stash, and I don't remember whether they were journaling cards or pockets, but nevertheless, that's what I was doing. And my bobbin ran out. So I had to rethread. And I put my bobbin where it had to be to rethread it, and hubby was in the next room, and I was kind of listening to the sounds he was making and not focusing on what I was doing, but I threaded the cotton into the bobbin, and you know, you put your foot down on the little pedal and it makes the bobbin go around and it winds the cotton on. And I remember looking at it a couple of times and thinking, it's it's going around and round, but there's not a lot of cotton on there. And then it moved again while I was watching it, and it looked like it was working, so I sort of disregarded my thought. And hubby made a noise, and I was listening to him again. And then I was like, it's not filling, like there's hardly any cotton on there at all. And I stopped what I was doing, and I went to take the bobbin off so I could check it. And as I've lifted the bobbin, I've realized all of the cotton had wrapped around the stand. There's a little stand that the bobbin sits on. It had wrapped itself underneath the bobbin around the little stand that the bobbin sits on. And do you think I could lift that bobbin off the stand to get it off the sewing machine? It was on there so tight. Like, I was like, how did that even happen in front of my eyes and I didn't realize? Like, I've got to say, so I was thinking that hubby was making a cuppa. And it was like, oh, it's cuppa time. I need to go and have a cuppa. Not paying any attention to what I was doing or what the machine was doing, clearly. Or I would have realized way before that, yeah, I had one tangled mess, and I tried to rescue some of it because, you know, that's what we do. We who make junk journals, we try to save everything. There was no saving that cotton. It was a lost cause. It looked like a bird's nest when I had to cut it away. So I had to cut the bobbin loose, and then I had to cut part of it to get it to release from the stand that the bobbin sits on. I think I ended up having to cut it a couple of times to get it away properly. Oh my gosh, what a mess. I mean, realistically, in hindsight, I'm probably lucky that that was all it tried to wind on before it stopped winding. But yeah. And you see, don't ever wonder why I say I'm not a sewer. I'll say it again. I am not a sewer. Oh my goodness. I was just like, what a mess. And all I wanted to do was go and have a cuppa, so I cleared the bobbin. And now, did I thread it before? I think I did. I think I made myself thread the bobbin before I actually went out, but I was tempted to just walk away. Very tempted to just walk away and go, I'll deal with that later. Anyway, my little sewing machine came good in the end, thank goodness. It must really like me, because there's been many times where I could have completely, you know, messed it up. And it still goes. So there has to be a little bit of love there. I keep telling myself there has to be a little bit of love for it to just not give up on me. Goodness me. Oh, sticky situation. I'm all gluey fingered and sticky, and I've burnished that, and there's something, oh dear, oh well, I'll just glue that down. Now where did that little bump go? There, what are you? Little piece of glue. It's torn that little paper, so just adding some extra glue so I can hopefully get it to stick back down on itself. I'll probably end up covering that little piece up anyway. Okay. Now this piece has probably got a direction. I'm thinking that way. Stick that there. So all of these papers that I'm using today are from JunkWithSteph. As I mentioned, this is part of my design team project for the months of November and December, and I'm using many of her kits, but essentially I think here in these scraps are mostly her collage papers, her collage paper kits. So volumes 1, 2, 3 and 4 I believe. And they're the scraps that I have from those. Again, I've seen the smallest little scrap that somebody has used in making ephemera on their channel, and I've gone searching to try and find where that little scrap of paper, what kit it belongs to, because it's caught my eye and I've decided I really liked it. So it's amazing what can inspire us. It's a nice little strip for across the bottom there. I had some fabric supplies to wash just recently and got the right day, so I went out and I did that washing, and the next day realized that one of the things was at the top of the list that needed to be washed I had neglected to do, so I then had to turn around and do more the next day. Anyway, that happened. I was just like, I don't know how I forgot. I feel like the glue is extra sticky today. I think I like that down there. Or do I want it at the top? No, I think I'll put it at the bottom, and the reason I'm doing that is because if I happen to, I love the word dream that's written across here, and if I happen to cut and it becomes a tag, there is the possibility that that could end up needing to be cut off, and that would make me really sad. So I'm not going to do it. I'm going to put it at the bottom, and then it can just be. Pop that there. It does cover up that word, so I'm going to tear that just a fraction. Yes, you saw right. I kept that tiny little scrap. If you haven't seen the video where I made my recent snippet strips, if you go and check that out, you'll see why I keep the tiny pieces. I'll try and remember to link that video in the description below. for those who may want to have a look. Just looking to see. It's really hard to pick up a piece of paper and look at it. It's sticking to my fingers. You can see how tacky they are. Not quite big enough. And I'm just going to use a couple of strips there because I have them and I can. Making sure I can still read that word because I love it. Okay, too short. No. Reminds me of an eye chart with the big letter at the top. Oops. It's very fun. I need to remove this glue before it ends up under my papers. How long have I been videoing? We're getting close to time. Might be able to do a little bit more. I'm going to pop that whole strip there, I think. Can hear the wind blowing outside now after me saying it was very still out there. Oh, actually, do I prefer it? I think it goes that way. I'm like, I know boats. Oh, golly. Okay, we're going this way, guys. I cannot have you all standing on your heads. I've got things on top of my glue papers, so it's really hard to turn it over. Yeah, I thought I was a little bit wonky there. Oh, it'll be okay. Oh, saves you. You don't have to stand on your head now. I'd like that over here somewhere. It's very same, isn't it? Maybe not. But that's fun. I feel like my ruler needs a spot where it just chills while I'm doing things like this, so that I know exactly where to put it and exactly where to find it, because every time I use it, it ends up in a different spot and I'm forever searching for it underneath the debris that is left from collaging that surrounds my table. My table was clean before I started this, and now I can barely see the tabletop. Every time I use something, I bury something else. I guess it is kind of the vicious cycle of crafting though, isn't it? Oops. You were just a tad taller than I remembered. Oh, look at that. I knew exactly where to find my ruler. That was a good plan. Do I want it that way? Oh, it does go that way. There's text on it. Okay, we're going that way. We've managed to still do about 5 pages. So that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. I think I like that up there in that corner, and whoops. I think I like that there too. I'm going to pop that one on first. Just need to get a little bit of order about us. Okay. So this one in the corner. And then this one. We'll pop that one above. My book paper is a little bit tacky. Okay, so my eye chart can go there. It's not really an eye chart, but that's what I'm calling it. Oops. And I have 2 spots down here to fill. You will do just nicely there. And I'm wondering if this, oh yes it will, oh, we have feet. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that, but I might be able to use that piece. Like that. And we have one little spot to go. Not quite big enough, but I'm just seeing some text here. Which, oops, more feet. I think they were the same feet. Oh golly. Okay. I like that against that orange paper. And taking a piece of this. Oh. Well, that went well. Okay, let's try again. Oh, goodness me. I'm hoping once I look back at this video, I don't go, nope, nope, that cannot be uploaded. Okay. Log her in, Eddie. Fabulous. I'm just checking to see that I've covered everything, and it looks like I have. So we didn't quite use all of the glue book pages that I had set aside for today, but I think we did okay actually. Okay, I have a mess to clean up on my desk once I've finished, but I just want to show you. I'm going to see how many pages we used, and we've actually used 6. So that's awesome. So, a little bit curly. Showing you the whole piece. Okay, that's really fun. I'm thinking I might use that for pockets and tucks at this stage, so I may not do the back of that. We will see how we go, but I just wanted to say a huge thank you to Steph from JunkWithSteph for allowing me to showcase her beautiful digitals, and thank you all for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Little giggle at the end. I'm still laughing at myself. And please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notifications and select all so that you don't miss future videos, and always feel free to comment. I love to hear from you. I look forward to seeing you all soon, everybody. Please stay safe, stay inspired, and happy crafting. Bye for now.